So making his entrance first will be Alberto Martinez Mendez. The 22-year-old from Fairfield is an independent fighter, doesn't have a specific camp, is an orthodox fighter fighting in this flyweight bout against Misael Lara.
Yeah, you know, when you get these independent guys, you never know what to expect. You can get guys that have trained before, and then they just had a fallout with their camp. Sometimes we call them garage guys, where, you know, I train in my garage and, you know, who's your trainer? My friends come over and we spar, you know. We've seen guys like that. So really independent's tough because you're not sure. You know, he could have quality training and maybe just is in between camps right now but wanted to take a fight. Or he could be, you know, super green and just kind of trains on his own, or has a little experience and thought maybe I'll strike out, have a buddy train me and take a fight. You never know, but this is kind of where you separate the men from the boys. Usually you don't see guys fight independent too long. If it's something that's for them, a camp finds them or they find a camp. But we'll see tonight, you know. I'm interested to see. I haven't seen Martinez Mendez fight before. He's 1-0, so it's not his first rodeo. He's got a victory already in the cage. So that's already kind of an advantage over his opponent who's making their debut. He's got those first fight jitters out of the way. So we'll see, you know, how well trained he is. You know, we'll see how well trained he is.
Yeah, his background is in boxing and Muay Thai, according to his camo profile. Also a green belt in Kaji Kembo, as well as he wrestled in high school. An interesting quote I found was that he actually planned to be a mixed martial artist back in high school, and he actually wrestled before high school to get that foundation. And he said, I plan to eventually fight in MMA, and the best champions start with wrestling.
You know what, I have...
And we're going to see Misael Lara approach the ring.
I have seen Mendez train before, and he's got skills. You know, he fought before. I remember now that I see him up close. I've seen him fight on Conquer. I think he got a knockout in that fight. So he's got power in the hands. He's a tough kid. He's got that well-mixed background. But he's taking on Misael Lara out of Napa Fight Sports. It's a fairly new camp, Napa Fight Sports here. But they have a lot of pieces with experience that they kind of put together here. So this is kind of like their opportunity to put themselves on the map here today and introduce themselves to the world right in their own backyard. So I know there's a lot of excitement for him to step in there and get this first fight off for this camp here today. Yeah, very apropos that the Napa fighter is fighting here in Napa, one of several on this card that is going to be fighting in their hometown. Some of the background on Lara is that he is a blue belt in no-gi jiu-jitsu. This is his debut, and as Brandon mentioned, at a Napa Fight Sports, and one of their trainers is Adam Wamsley, who will be in the title fight in your main event here tonight. And 16 years his senior, 38 years old is Lara versus a 22-year-old Martinez Mendez. Does that factor in any sort of way at this level? Yeah, I mean, you know, if you said it didn't factor in, then, you know, you'd be defying the laws of life. When you're that much older than your opponent and you've had that much, you know, more wear and tear on your body, mileage, you know, injuries, things that you've had to overcome over the years. You know, I know that Mendez, he's got that fiery, young attitude when it comes to training. I've seen him train, like I said, every rep he puts 100% in. And we'll send it to Jim Cooley with the official announcements.
In the 125-pound division, third man in the cage when the action begins, Brian Tyler. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, hailing from Fairfield, California. He represents Lepe Muay Thai and weighed in at 124 pounds. He holds an unblemished mixed martial arts record, one big win, no defeats. Alberto Murda Mendez. His opponent across the cage in the red corner makes his home right here in Napa, California. He weighs in at 125 pounds. Representing Napa Fight Sports, tonight he makes his mixed martial arts debut, Misael Lara.
And thank you to Jim Cooley, the voice of champions, for the ring introductions. We're getting set for 3 2-minute rounds here in the flyweight division, 125 pounds. Should be a quick pace that flyweights usually have.
Yeah, that's what people love about these guys is that they can keep that pace. They start fast and they can go fast the whole time. But like I said, this Mendez kid has got a lot of fire. But we'll see. Sometimes that age comes with experience, a calmness. You know, even though it's his first fight, obviously he has some experience. You know, so you know we'll see if that. You know, sometimes age can give you the benefit of composure. So, but it is his first fight, so you know you never know. It's kind of a wait and see what happens. This first one here, he's holding on there.
They engaged early, and now it looks like Mendez trying to take the back of Lara, but Lara does a good job of turning over in half guard. Is Lara. Body punches from Martinez Mendez on the ground. Now waiting for Lara to get up, and
Mendez is feeling really good already. Mendez is looking like he's already feeling himself. He's going to start teeing off.
Great uppercuts from Martinez Mendez. Lara engages. Great takedown from Martinez Mendez.
I told you this boy's got the juice, Brian.
Yeah, he's very confident in that cage as he looks to press on Lara. Lara in guard, kicks him off. Martinez Mendez with the left kick. Blocked by Lara.
Lara just smiling, you know. The kid is feeling good.
Great uppercut.
But the experience and the composure.
Oh, and he caught him with the left. And that is it, folks.
Oh, he brought the fire in that right hand there, Brian. Jeez. Whoa, it happens that quick, you know. Happens that quick.
Alberto Martinez Mendez follows up the TKO in the first round with a TKO shot of his own, and Lara is busted open.
Busted.
That left eye.
That's a tough fight for your first fight. That kid has got a lot of power in those hands. Like I said at the beginning, he throws everything with everything, and that's what youth gives you. You know, you feel young and invincible, and you could tell Mendez early in that fight got his confidence.
Yeah.
You could tell he was feeling himself, and he's throwing big shots, kind of unfazed or really looked like he felt completely unthreatened by anything that Lara was giving back to him. And at that point in a fight, you know, it could go either way. You know, Lara could have closed his eyes, thrown a haymaker, and caught Mendez coming in, but it didn't work out like that. Mendez stayed the course, kept throwing big bombs, and finally landed one, and that was all it took.
Yeah, absolutely. There is fire in the gloves of Alberto Martinez Mendez as medical staff are going to take a look at Misael Lara. Obviously, a big cut over the right eyebrow of Lara. So they're going to tend to him as Alberto Martinez Mendez going to celebrate his second career victory, second TKO win as well.
Now this kid is something to look out for. And we talked about this, that independent. Sometimes I can get people thinking the wrong thing. You know, this guy doesn't train much. He's inconsistent with his training. He might not be that dangerous. He might not have that much skill, but you just never know. You never know in that cage until the door closes.
And especially from flyweights where you see a lot of volume punches. You don't see a lot
power,
of knockout power like that.
And if you're a flyweight who can finish like that with one shot, that's something special. People want to see that at those smaller weights. They want to see guys that can throw a lot, but they also want to see people get knocked out, you know?
And great response from the hometown crowd from Napa, giving a round of applause for Lara.
I would like me to remind you there is no flash photography during tonight's event. This is for the safety of the competitors. Please, no flash photography, no lights on your video.
So we don't have Jim Cooley mic'd up as he made that announcement of no flash photography. But yeah, 2 fights so far on this card, Brandon, and fireworks right off the bat.
Well, you know, and we talked about this, you know, with these guys that are making their second appearance in the cage. You know, they're biting that jaw on the walkout, you know, and so they're almost like racehorses at the gate. You know, you hit that, you let that gate up, and then they're going. So, you know, we kind of expected to see this. Unfortunately, you know, it looks like Lara got a pretty serious injury. In a pretty decent-sized cut over his eye, which is always unfortunate, but it looks like he's okay. You know, you sustain a shot like that, you never know. You know, you got to worry about a lot of things. The cut is just one of the things you got to worry about. But it looks, you know, he's standing on his own. It looks like he's kind of, you know, grimacing. At least he's conscious. He's aware. You know.
Yeah,
hey,
he has his faculties. It's not like they have to hold him up at this point.
You know, and he's probably more bummed than anything at this point. You know, but you know what a performance by Mendez. He came out there, felt himself early, and it didn't take long before he found a home for that right hand and put Lara out.
Yeah, at 22 years of age. We talked about his wrestling background, but there felt very comfortable on his feet striking. So if he gets that well-rounded aspect to his mixed martial arts game, a bright future for
well, like
Martinez Mendez.
like you said, while they were walking out, he went in and he sought the experience. He didn't just wrestle because I don't have anything else to do.
Right.
I want to fight MMA. I'm gonna wrestle. So a kid like that, I understand why he's independent. He's kind of been piecing his training together his whole career so far, but eventually as he gets to higher levels, he's going to need a more solidified training camp, not just for the structure but for partners and everything like that. But like I said, a camp might come calling him after these kind of performances in his first 2 outings in the cage. They might solicit him to come and train because he's got the talent.
We'll send it over to Jim Cooley for the official announcement.
First round, referee Brian Tyler has called a stop to this contest. Your winner via technical knockout, Alberto Mendez.
So a lot of jubilation on the face of Alberto Martinez Mendez, victorious in this flyweight bout. When we come back, we will have a lightweight bout between Sal Osorio and Nick Runyon.
Nice.